Hello, welcome back to the Great Patriotic War. We're again in our single player game, the Grand Campaign. And yeah, it's not looking so grand right now, but just wait. We'll make it look grand. So, after the last video, I did turn the turn, so we didn't get to see it live, but uh, I did have a couple of funny reactions that I want to recap. So uh, when I was watching the Battle of Kherson over here, I was actually really impressed with our guys. They fought really well. Um, they were able to hold off the Germans from pushing in. We are also able to extract. So you can see them here. We were able to extract a unit out of that little pocket that had formed. This 6th Airborne Brigade. So not everything died. So that was good. But the performance of our army around Kiev was not great. You could see we'd lost a lot of ground, a ton of ground, especially on the right flank. It got pushed all the way to the Dnieper. So that's going to be critical to reinforce that flank somehow. With what? I don't know, because we don't really have much in that area, but maybe we could find something. As for the central front, which is these lime green boyos, comrades, sorry. So our lime green comrades didn't do so hot either. They got absolutely shellacked. These panzer divisions were able to just go through them like absolute butter, as if they weren't even there. Now, the Western Front itself actually was able to hold. They were holding on to Smolensk still. Jeez, can't talk today. They're still holding on to Smolensk, but barely. We definitely have maybe a turn or two left in it before we get completely encircled and cut off. So I'm willing to keep holding it. In the meantime, we're going to keep sending stuff back to the reserve front and try to get them kitted up and ready for battle. Hopefully, by the end of September, we'll have some sort of reserve fronts more or less kitted up. As for the Battle of Veliki Luki, there wasn't really much of a battle to speak of so far. They didn't actually choose to attack us. So what we're probably going to do is just maybe vacate the area. I'm not sure, because these divisions here that are facing us are way too strong for us to fight. We're just going to get absolutely shredded. So it's better to just kind of evacuate that. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's better to run away. There were a lot of battles in the north, and they did recon us yet again, and I don't know why they didn't shoot them down, but we're going to get a little bit more intense with our air superiority efforts across this entire northern front, because this seems to be where the majority of their recon action is happening. So as you can see, the battles were mostly centered in, just a couple of areas. They pushed a little bit on our left flank as well, although not quite as successfully. They didn't make it all the way to the river, obviously. But they were able to push a fair amount of our troops back. And these are those really strong infantry divisions that are just impossible for us to deal with this early in the war. But our men acquitted themselves pretty well, considering how badly they're outnumbered in some of these battles. So, yeah, I'm happy with their overall performance. Now, I don't know if you caught it on the turn report, but we actually had a shocking development that we have never had so far in either campaign. We lost fewer planes than the enemy. So if you go and look at this losses screen here, current turn, the enemy total losses was 30, and our total losses were 25. We actually shot down 24 planes, 20 of which were level bombers. So we caught a bunch of unescorted level bombers and just shot them down. I don't know if that was with our air superiority or if that was... I haven't been able to find the actual air combat yet. But wherever it was, that's pretty cool. Because I love seeing Nazi bombers get blown up. All right, so strategically, where can our air help us? I think one of the main things where we need to shore up our center here. So one of the things we could do is we could try some ground support, but we don't have a ton of bombers on the field right now. We could bring some in for next turn, but it might be worth it to turn on ground support for a turn for Leningrad, just to try to hold on to a little bit more land. Now, the Northwestern Air Command, I think we're going to just completely focus them on air superiority. Basically in this whole region here. So we'll have them take the left side, I think. Although actually most of their planes on the right. We'll have them take the right side then. So we'll center the air superiority mission over like this hex maybe, and make it 3. Okay, we need it to be 1 back, I think. Actually, let's make it 4 maybe. It's too big. Too big an area. So if we do it like here, we can at least get all those planes from Novgorod in there. I'm just gonna check to see if I have any other planes available for it. I only have 32 in range, so I think the rest of them are all over here. So we'll fly a separate air superiority mission over there. And I guess we'll just fly flights of 12. So we'll confirm that. And then we'll add a second air superiority mission over here. And these guys will fly again. Something like that. Oops, I want 32. Why were there so many at first and now there's so few? God, it's so finicky sometimes to get the air directives to come up. Okay, have that selected. Set air superiority to here. Oh, okay, so the second that gets a little bit bigger, it's out of range. So where would it be in range? Whatever. Let's try this again. Sometimes these controls are just so annoying. Alright, so it starts at 94 and then it goes down to 32. And it's still that same 6th IP. So where are they coming from? Okay, they're coming from there. Why are these guys not available? How is that out of range? So how's the ninth IAP out of range? I don't understand that. It's flying right over their freaking heads. Okay, so you literally have to have it over their freaking heads, apparently. Oh well. Alright. That will work. Maybe we could prevent some of these nasty, nasty recon planes from flying over. Alright, so the Baltic Fleet Air Command. These guys are going to be responsible for the bulk of the air superiority mission on our left side. Okay, so that one is actually fine as is. But I want to add in an air superiority mission here. A little bit bigger than that. Just to make sure that we're not getting observed. Cool. And now for Leningrad. I'm just going to briefly turn on the flak. Just to see what our game estimates their enemy flak is at. Okay. So this thing doesn't have much flak on it at all. Very tempting. Just to lay like some interdiction down. Alright, we want to make sure that we're flying pretty low. And basically just want a quick interdiction mission on him. Just to slow down supplies. I hope I don't regret that, but I'm really interested in trying some of these missions out. Even if I lose the planes, I want to see how they work more than anything. Alright, so I think that's all I wanted to do with the Northern Front. Now the Western Front is probably not going to do much this turn. I think they had some air superiority missions going on last term, but they don't have any planes committed to those now. So they're not going to do a whole lot. A heck of a lot. And they don't have much range at all for these missions. So I guess we'll just fly them here. I mean, at least there'll be planes. We could fly air superiority over Bryansk, I guess. Let's shrink that down a bit. I guess that's worth it. They have so much flak on these divisions. There's nothing I could do there. All right, what do we have down here? Let's see, we got some bombers. Got some fighters here. Jesus, what did I leave in here? Oh, that's Odessa. I was like... So we definitely had some air battles. I think we'll keep that one up. And we'll definitely keep this one up. I'm going to bring in another air group. I want to hit this rail line with a little something something. But I don't really want to fly unescorted missions. I could do it with these two. So let's see. That was just a lot of thinking right there. All right, let's see what these guys can do. What is their airstrike range? Okay, so the escort would work. And we just want to make sure that interdiction is the only thing we're trying to do here. And I think I'm going to bring in something that's a little bit longer range, maybe. So where's a big airfield? This one is pretty big. What is a relatively long range fighter? I think the MiG might be our longest range fighter. I'm not sure on that, actually. Not sure if the MiG or the LAG is a longer range fighter. But I want to have some bombing missions kind of getting ready. Because while they're advancing, I want to be bombing their rail lines behind them. But let's try the MiGs. We'll try some MiGs and some SB2s. So we'll bring in a group of each. So bring in the 23rd IAP. Just for the hell of it. I don't know why. And we'll also bring in what do we have for tactical bombers? We'll bring in some IL-2s. That'll be funny. Cool. And we will give them to... Alright, let's find out what... IADs we have. So 20th SAD, 45th SAD, Kirovograd. I guess we'll give them to the 21st SAD. Just for organizational purposes. We will move these recon planes a little bit further back, I think. Why did it select all of them? Cancel. Okay, actually the Southern Recon Group is the one we actually wanted to transfer. Okay. So you get the hell out of there. But these guys I wanted to cancel the transfer. Cool. What did I say again? The 21st, right? Yeah. Let's give them to the 21st SAD. Okay, cool. And now the 21st SAD will be responsible for flying both air superiority and occasional bombing missions. We'll bring in, let's see, so are these guys assigned to anything? Who's doing this ground attack? I wish it would say, oh, I had it hidden. Oops. Okay, so the 45th SAD is not involved in this. So we can move these guys. So let's move them back. Where do we have some air bases? Jesus. We gotta build some air bases, huh? I guess we can move them back to here. That'd probably be fine. It would be better to transfer them here. There we go. Cool. All right, but I would like to leave the 20th SAD where it is, even if it puts it under threat from these mean Nazis. Hoping I can reinforce it with a little something. One of these mechanized divisions, maybe. I mean, I guess I could move them down a little bit here. I don't really want to mess. I don't want to mess that air assault up. All right, let's run the air directives as is. Shoot. Why did this not resupply? Hello? Resupply, please. Okay, not sure why it's not resupplying. But well, we'll keep flying those missions. I mean, it probably is time to start moving stuff back. Just in case. Who is at this airbase? No one. Why does it say ready 17? So confusing. Alright, we don't need the transport planes here anymore. So let's get them back to like Kharkov. I'm not planning to resupply anyone with air this turn. I did that last turn, but just not going to do it this turn. Alright. They never captured the ferry. The immortal ferry. Alright, I'm going to execute air directives, and that'll be that for the air turn. So the 8th week of the war begins with hopefully some pretty useful air attacks by us. We got some air combat going on already. But what I'm really hoping for is some experience levels to start climbing on our air wings as they get better and more combat. But in general, I'm still just such a novice at this game that I really just don't know what I'm doing with the air war. I just kind of flounder about, hoping that I find something. But it just seems like the AI doesn't really do much compared to what it could be doing. Like, it could be wrecking me right now, but it just chooses not to. All right, so all of our losses were from operational losses, so that's just pilots having a little bit too much vodka before they fly. But I think, hopefully, our air missions achieved their objectives here. So you could see the interdiction values go up. And then in these air battles, you can see we shoot down some Luftwaffe. But our whole goal is to just to mitigate the naval attacks. That's all we can do. We're never going to eliminate them, but we can mitigate them. Oh, damn. I wish I had flown some missions against that. I guess I did. I tried to, but it was escorted. All right, let's see how this one went. Very good. Interdict value of 0. 3, 1, and 1. So we have 5 total interdiction on this tile now, which is really going to be important. Just trying to get some interdiction levels back behind their lines so they can't get supply up as easily. I think that's the way to stall out this front. Now what I want to do is I want to commit to trying some sort of encirclement on this, even if it's small. It's just a little tricky to do. Let's turn off the stupid flak thing. Oh god, those are beefy tank divisions. Hmm. I think we might need to abandon these positions, but we'll leave that for next time. Until then, hopefully you have a good weekend if you're watching this in the weekend. If you're watching it at a later date, then you're crazy. But hopefully we'll be back on the Western Front of the Great Patriotic War again tomorrow, and maybe by then our multiplayer turn will be available. Until then, see ya.